Good morning. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Challenges for Civil Engineering in the Ocean and Coastal Engineering Development. I would like to introduce today's speaker, Dr. Subramaniam Nilamani. Currently, he is working as Senior Research Scientist at Kuwait Institute for Scientific Research. He got his PhD from IIT Madras in 1990, and he was teaching in the Department of Ocean Engineering at IIT Madras from 1990 to 2003. He was the recipient of Alexander Humboldt Postdoc Fellowship, Germany, during 96 to 98. He has more than 300 scientific papers published in reputed international and national journals and conferences. He has coordinated about 50 research projects, 50 consultancy projects, and 35 training programs in the area of coastal engineering. His main specialization lies in physical modeling on coastal and ocean structures, ocean engineering, and marine environmental issues. He has bestowed with Scientific Achievement Award by Kuwait Institute of Scientific Research since 2009 for his distinguished scientific contribution and achievements. He was also awarded the Engineering of the Year by Tamil Nadu Engineers from Kuwait during 2016, and he has received Lifetime Achievement Award in the area of coastal engineering by Venus International Research Foundation, Chennai in 2016. And also he has got 2 US patents as a lead inventor during 2016 and many recognition from around the world for this invention. These 2 patents won gold and silver medals in the International Innovation Exhibition in Kuwait, Switzerland, and Germany. With this introduction, now I would request Dr. Subramani Nilamani to deliver a talk on challenges for civil engineering in the ocean and coastal engineering development. Thank you.
I can go to share content now. Can I start?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, dear friends watching this webinar from Amity University. I thank first Dr. Naveen for organizing this program, for your energy and enthusiasm. Yes, this particular webinar, 1 hour webinar, is mainly to motivate you, because mostly civil engineers are watching this particular webinar, to motivate you to go for higher studies or jobs in the area of ocean engineering and coastal engineering. This is a very challenging engineering discipline, that I can say from the beginning. Because civil engineers, you learn structural engineering, geotechnical engineering, fluid mechanics, survey, environmental aspect. All these knowledge plus many new knowledges need to be applied in a focused way for any engineering project in the area of ocean or coastal. So I will tell you, because you are all now with the civil engineering background, what are the challenges in coastal engineering? So you can think how you can try to apply your knowledge. So the topic is challenges for civil engineers in the ocean and coastal engineering development. If somebody drinks the water of the ocean completely, for example, then it appears like this. You see, inside the ocean itself, you see very high, rough hills and mountains, which is much more rough than what you see on the earth. Okay, this is India. I am talking from here. This is Kuwait is here in the Arabian Peninsula. This Arabian Peninsula, I am talking from here. So we are on the shore of Arabian Gulf. This is Arabian Gulf, Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal, Indian Ocean. So this we call it as physiography of the ocean. Nearly 71% of the surface of the ocean, the globe is with water. Some important fact you have to know why you love to do a higher study in ocean engineering. You have to know some tasty information. Ocean is very rich in protein. I am sure everybody love to eat fish and prawns. and it is a future source for power. Ocean have very significant amount of power from wave, tide, current, thermal, biomass, etc. It is a reservoir for organic and inorganic material. Every sources of minerals from the earth, they will disappear in the future, including oil, gas, coal, iron ore, gold ore, everything will disappear in the future because of our increased consumption. Then we have to go to the sea to exploit these minerals. So reservoir, it is a reservoir of organic and inorganic material and portable water supply. For example, Gulf countries, we don't have fresh water. We take seawater, desalinate, and that is what is 100% in Kuwait, for example. In India also, some other cities, they are taking seawater for desalination. In future, with the increase in population, we need more desalination, and ocean is the main supplier. And one of the loud recreation side, people always love to go to beach and relax. It is a mass transportation medium. Because of ocean, because of transportation by ship, people in Gulf countries, for example, we could able to get rice from India with just 20% extra cost. On the other hand, if it is transported by flight, the cost will be 3 times higher. Vegetable atar, for example, comes by air flight, we pay something like 250 rupees per kilogram because of transport by ship, by air. If it is by ship, it is cheaper. So ocean is a medium for mass transport. Without ocean, the mild climate we will not have. If ocean is not there, for example, Delhi, the climate will reach 60 degrees centigrade. Because of thermal circulation from ocean to land, the whole planet is kept under very suitable climate that we live happily. And some additional facts, the average ocean depth is 3,800 meters, whereas the average elevation of the land is only 840. Mariana Trench is 11 kilometers deep compared to Everest 8.8 kilometers high. The volume of ocean water is 1,370 million cubic kilometers. A huge volume of water. More than 97%, 98% of the Earth's water is in the ocean. The beautiful thing is average temperature of ocean is only 4 degrees centigrade. This is the reason the Earth is still mild, we could able to live because of 4 degree average temperature of the sea water. But ocean, the salinity of the water is 35, salt content. Now we will go to the challenges. What type of challenges we face doing engineering development? Okay, as a civil engineer, you know, for any infrastructure development, you have to know the load on the structure. If you are going to build a dam or a shopping complex or road or a theater or multi-story building, first thing you have to know is the load, what type of load the structure will be taking. So for the design load, you do the design. In ocean, the problem is the loads are not simple like the land-based structure. The land-based structure, you take a dead load, live load, and the structure is high, then you take wind load. And the earthquake, if it is an earthquake-prone zone, then you take earthquake load. Whereas in the sea, the very dominant load is from the water around the structure. That water acts on the structure in different forms. See, for example, like a tsunami. When tsunami occurs, the water in the ocean, which is hitting the structure, transfer the load. So you have to design in such area, you have to design the structure for tsunami. In area where you have very high cyclone, like Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, every year very high cyclone and cyclone induced waves, storm surges, they hit coastal structure. So we have to know what is the load from such event. Then you have to design the structure for such type of event. They are very, very dynamic loads. What is the meaning of dynamic load? The load at one point of time will be 100 ton per square meter. After half an hour, it will reduce to 1 ton per square meter. It varies very, very significantly. When you have a tsunami or cyclone or waves acting on the structure, it is very, very dynamic. So we have to, as an engineer, we have to know the science of estimating the load. And you know very well the globe is warming, ocean sea level is rising, and in future, see 66 meter sea level will rise if the whole ice in the world melt. Imagine 66 meter of rise in water. So that means most of the city like Bombay, Vizag, Calcutta, all will be in water if this event happens. It may happen in future because in the past many thousands of years back it happened. Global warming may lead to such type of event. Scientists around the world, based on scientific study, they say sea level will rise by more than a meter in 2100. So as an engineer, we have to know global warming and sea level rise. And you know, all around the world, the coastal area is eroding. The soil mechanics problem. Erosion and movement of sand is a soil mechanics problem. A little bit more than soil mechanics problem. So we have to know how to control erosion of coast and the structure. One of the very important activity in the area of coastal engineering is dredging and the disposal of soil. People do dredging. For example, Dredging Corporation of India, the company, Government of India company, they do dredging of soil from different port and harbor for navigation. It is an engineering problem. Ocean outfall. All the coastal cities, the wastewater, finally you have to like a solid waste disposal, proper solid waste disposal, proper liquid disposal is very important. The whole world, what they are doing, the liquid waste from city, they dump into the sea. Either like in Chennai, Kuvam River, the wastewater river, either like that or people design suitable disposal using submarine pipeline. They take the water into the deeper sea. So that is an engineering problem. Engineers design that. All the country, coastal country need port and harbor. So we have to develop optimally for export and import. This is another engineering area. And desalination. For desalination, different engineers has to work. But as a civil engineer, one of the important work is you have to build the infrastructure for taking the water from the sea. So that is a challenge. And a lot of power plants in the coastal area, they need water for cooling. So here again, you have to take seawater using appropriate structure. Seawater intrusion into the land area is another biggest problem. Many cities in India, like Chennai, Vizag, Calcutta, Bombay, if you try to take water using a bore, you will get only saline water. The reason, seawater is intruding. So one of the challenges is how to reduce these type of intrusion. Oil and gas exploration and exploitation. You may be knowing ONGC, Oil and Natural Gas Commission in India, Government of India company. They do exploration and exploitation of oil and gas at different places like Bombay High, Kaveri Delta Basin. Engineers have to work to design such type of structure efficiently. Mining you have to do into the ocean. So you need to design structure. Energy you have to extract from the ocean in future. This is one of the biggest challenge. Ocean energy extraction needs different type of civil structure. As an engineer, how to design that such type of structure cost effectively, that is the biggest challenge even today. Okay, this is one problem, preventing extracting energy from the ocean, because it is very, very expensive. Finally, economics only will tell us whether we should go for a project or not. Corrosion is the biggest problem in the marine infrastructure. Marine growth is another problem. How to prevent them? The biggest soil mechanics problem is sediment transport. Sediment in the ocean keep on moving, and because of its moving, it will go and settle someplace where you don't want them to settle. It will move from one place, erosion. You don't want erosion, but it will erode. So that is the thing. Like any civil engineering infrastructure in ocean and coastal area, we have to do innovation for new type of structure from economics point of view and improving the life. Pollution in the marine area is another important problem. I am sure you are doing environmental engineering, you are studying. We have to apply those knowledges very effectively to control marine pollution. Big challenging problem. One by one, we will see quickly now. Tsunami, I'm not going to explain a lot about some other things, but you know, tsunami, you know already what is tsunami. When earthquake happens in the sea, it will create tsunami. The science behind the tsunami, I'm not going to explain because of the 1 hour time, we cannot spend much on this. Tsunami, when it happens, like a 2004 tsunami from Indonesia, it destroyed many thousands of people in India, Sri Lanka, all around these places. So sometimes when tsunami, the effect, you will get waves as high as 7-story building. Imagine when such wave act on coastal infrastructure, it has to withstand. That is what it is. So we have to know what is the force, dynamic force, and how to design the structure for the dynamic force. Whether it is economically viable to design for tsunami. So this is the question. Okay, so such type of things. See, if you have a restaurant like this, if they know tsunami will occur, then accordingly they might have designed it. 2004, India as well as Sri Lanka, people never thought tsunami will hit. So none of the structures were built for tsunami. But then after the tsunami, now many structures people are building to take care of tsunami. Like Japan. Most of the coastal area, they build a structure not to fail for tsunami, but still failure will occur when the loads exceed the design load. Cyclone, very critical for India. In India, all the way from southern part of Tamil Nadu to West Bengal, every location is prone for cyclone activity. During cyclone, the wind speed sometimes exceed 200 kilometers per hour. So you have to design the structure for such type of wind speed in Bay of Bengal and all the coastal areas in Bay of Bengal. Because in India, see, when we talk about wind, 5 categories, the world divides it into 5 categories. This, for example, 5 categories. The 5th category is a worst category. India, every year we face category 4 and category 5 on the east coast of India. All the structures, that is why we have to design for category 4 or 5, catastrophic. Otherwise, it will lead to catastrophic failure. People learn to design the structure for such high cyclones, wind speed more than 155 miles per hour. Global warming, just I will spend a minute on this. You know what is global warming? when the sun radiation falls on the earth, it should go back, reflect back. If it is not reflecting back because of the greenhouse gas, then earth will become warmer and warmer every year. That is what the meaning of greenhouse gas effect. It's more warmer and warmer means, you see here from 1860, this black line indicates the carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere. This red line indicates how the seawater is rising. Seawater is rising for the last 100 years, no doubt. Carbon dioxide level also is increasing. So both these things causing the sea level rise and associated problems. This picture shows how the temperature from 1990, temperature of the globe is increasing. It already reached more than, we are here now, 1.5–2 degree temperature has increased from 1990. By 2100, the highest temperature increase expected is 5 degrees. 5 degrees C temperature increase means the whole ice around the world, they all will melt. So we are like Corona, we are fighting Corona. We will fight the problem of sea level rise, global warming is much severe than Corona problem. Okay, so many of us are not feeling it, but when carbon dioxide level on the atmosphere cross 500 ppm, catastrophe, it is much more severe catastrophe than Corona. We cannot stop sea level rise. Sea level rise will increase like this. It will flood all the cities around the world. Billions and billions of, not billion, trillions of, many trillions of dollars is a loss in such time. So we have to be very careful in the lifestyle to make sure sea levels are not rising to such extent. Now we will talk about the engineering problem, some of the engineering problems. One is the coastal erosion. Any country with the ocean have the erosion problem like this. Infrastructures on the coast, sometimes the seawater erode and they damage. So as an engineer, we have to protect the structure from erosion. There are different types of structure people are designing. And as a coastal engineer or ocean engineer, you will learn how to design. See, this is called a groin. Groin is one structure, one solution, but it will not work everywhere. If you go to Tamil Nadu coast, you will see this type of structure in different places. Kerala coast, some places you will have this type of structure. So you have to design properly these structures. See, like this is from Denmark, the groin. So people build, it's like a compartment, railway compartment. People build and then they fill this area with sand to make sure the city here is not eroding. It is a duty of a coastal engineer, a civil engineer with the knowledge of coastal engineering, they do the design. Or people also build this type of structure called offshore breakwater. It is a typical civil engineering structure. Basically, these are all rocks. You have to design the rocks of particular size. If it is for India, the rock size will be different. If it is for Gulf country, it is different because the environmental loads are different. Okay, depends on the load, we have to design it to make sure the beaches here, they are retained. People also build a sea wall. This is called a sea wall. So you have property here to protect them from wave. People also build a sea wall of different shapes, like sheet piles. You might be studying this in foundation engineering, how to design a proper sea wall. So we use a sea wall, need to be designed properly for marine condition. So this is a civil engineering problem. If it is designed properly, then you can save your property here. Dredging and disposal. Looks simple. Dredging means, see, you have to, the seabed in some area, it is a rocky, like a Tuticorin port. Tuticorin port, inside the port, it is a rock. So they want to increase the depth of water. So you have to dredge using cutter suction, civil engineering, a typical foundation problem, soil mechanics problem, or people use this type of dredging machine. If soil is cohesive or very fine sand, people use this type of dredger. And disposal. Country like Dubai, they don't have big coastal area. So they dredged and disposed sand to form huge islands like this. You see, these are all civil engineering, typical civil engineering problem. Just disposing the sand, compaction, proper compaction, and then later on make sure they are not disappearing because of waves. This is an engineering problem. So people buy this land at a very high cost. Even any of you like to buy a property, you can buy here and you can build your home. But then after construction of home, in future, you have to make sure if your home is here, you have to make sure your beach is not eroding and the water here is not polluted. So you have to make sure. This is the civil engineering, typical civil engineering problem. So engineers working in this project, they should know all these things. So this is an opportunity for civil engineers to learn. Outfall of the ocean. This is another civil engineering structure problem. See, like what you see here is a pipe. These are all pipe in the sea to dispose wastewater. Like wastewater we are disposing in Ganga, Ganga or any river in India or other country, people dispose wastewater using pipe. People dispose in the ocean. Of course, it is much better to dispose in the deeper water than disposing on the coastal water. So we have to know how to design the submarine pipeline properly. So this is another topic in ocean engineering. This itself is a specialized area. One can study for 1 or 2 years to become a specialist in designing submarine pipeline. This is not a pipe like a land pipe. This is a pipe exposed to waves, currents, saline water, barnacle, marine growth. So we have to know all these things to design such type of submarine pipes. Then another important area for civil engineer, very attractive, challenging area is port and harbor development. A typical port looks like this. Starting from here, breakwater, loading, unloading infrastructure, they are all civil structures. But what is the difference? They are exposed to saline water. Okay, so designing all these structure to make sure they function, they don't settle down because you are building them on seabed. Sometimes because of erosion, the whole structure will settle down. So we have to make sure it is not settling down. And people build a small structure like this called a marina for pleasure boats. So we have to do design of such type of structure. Or like you see, this is a marine structure, typical berthing structure. We have to design using concrete properly. We have to take care of the load from the ship. The ship is connected with a line wire on the bollard here. It will try to pull the bollard. Sometimes ship will come and hit the structure. So we have to know properly how to design such type of structures. Challenge, correct? Desalination. As I was telling you, 97% water is in the sea. It will be in the sea only in future. We cannot change this ratio. 98% of the water will be always in the sea. So that is why ocean is a resource for drinking water. Already around the world, we have more than 14,000 desalination plants. It is increasing every year. In India, in future, we will have more number of desalination plants. But the challenge is how to make the water affordable to the people. That is what the challenge. Principle of desalination, I am not going to explain, so I will switch on this. Cooling water for power. If you have a power plant here like this, thermal power plant, the mechanical system needs water, huge quantity of water. So we cannot use fresh water from well and all. It is not possible. So we have to take water from the sea for cooling purpose. You see here, typically from the sea, water comes through a submarine pipeline. This color, the blue color indicates the path of the water. It comes here and it stays in a tank and people use it continuously. So we have to know how to design the intake system. Make sure fishes and algae, they are not entering into the system. So we have to design them, filtering the water. So this is one area for civil engineers. There are different way of taking seawater. This is one way of taking seawater. The plan view, the water will enter from here. People screen to remove the floating objects. Water comes here. Finally, they will allow the water to go here. India, this is one typical seawater intake in near Vizag, Visakhapatnam. This is a caisson type of structure, typical civil structure. Water enters into the structure. This is a powerhouse. People lift the water and pour the water on the channel, so it goes. A very, very typical civil engineering structure. Civil engineer has to design. Oil and gas exploration. I'm sure you understand what is the importance of civil engineers here. This type of drilling platform, either using steel or concrete, civil engineers, we have to learn extra technique to design these structures. So that is where the challenge. A very conventional civil engineer design, he cannot do an optimal design. So we have to learn the technique for designing these type of structures. There are so many varieties of offshore drilling platforms available on the world. So it's a nice area to work. Even in very deep water, people design structures called a tension leg platform. Tension leg platform. The platform is here, and people keep it at this location by using tension line, tension leg platform. And they drill the sea floor from here 4 kilometers, 5 kilometers down. They go drill, take the crude oil will come here and then it will go to a ship. Ship is standing here. They fill the ship and then ship will go to the respective places. Mining of the ocean is another area, very interesting area. One element called manganese nodule. It is not available on the earth, solid earth. So people have to go to the sea only for extracting this nodule. And it is not available in coastal water, deep water. More than 2-3 kilometer water down, it is available. So how to take them economically? That is what the challenge civil engineers face. I will tell about ocean energy in a few minutes. Ocean contains so many different type of energy. One is ocean thermal energy. This is the highest potential of energy on the earth. It is not coal, it is not crude oil that have this much of potential. Ocean thermal energy, this is an indirect form of solar energy. This is the highest on the earth, 40,000 million megawatt is the potential of this energy. What it means, I will tell you. The whole India, the total power generation capacity in whole India, if you take, it is only about 0.25 million megawatt. All thermal, hydraulic, nuclear, wind, solar, all together, what we have is 0.25 million megawatt. That's what we have in India. The potential of this power itself is 40,000 million megawatt. Imagine how much compared to the potential we have in India. So people, this was a 2010, the whole world needs 20 million megawatt. You can see how much is the potential of all the energy. Marine, wave energy, tidal energy, huge energy is available on the sea. India itself, we have 1 lakh, closer to 1 lakh megawatt of vortex, wave and tide. India itself, we have. Wave, when we talk about wave, this is a potential on the globe. What is number? For example, 82, meaning if you take 1 meter, when the wave is moving within this 1 meter, it has potential of 82 kilowatt per meter. That is the energy at this location. So every location on the earth have different potential. Around India, we have potential of 14 kilowatt per meter. There are so many techniques that people have invented. This is one technique. Even in India, we did a pilot plant in Trivandrum, in the Arabian Sea, during 1989-1990. We did one pilot plant. This is a concrete structure, this one. So when wave comes, inside this structure, this is a structure, inside the structure, the water here moves up and down like a piston. When it is moving up, the air here can be pushed through a turbine with high velocity. It goes out. When water column goes down, air from outside will come inside. So you will see here always high air movement that will drive the turbine, connected with the generator, generate power. This is called oscillating water column. The technology is developed. What is the problem even today? 1990, I was working for this project from IIT Madras. So it was a 4 crore rupee project that time. So we built the structure, Larsen & Toubro, ECC. They built the structure. The main problem is the structure, civil engineering structure is expensive. Even today, we could not able to reduce the civil engineering cost much. That is a problem. So one of the challenge to young people like you is how to have a structure which is very, very cost competitive, either using different type of material, like for example, high strength plastics, for example, which is cheaper, replacing concrete. So we have to reduce the cost of the structure to make sure in future, at least 10 years from now, people could be able to exploit wave energy. Economics is the biggest problem. So as a civil engineer, see, one thing what we focus is we learn the science, but finally when we do our work, we have to focus on how to make the infrastructure economical. That is what the biggest problem, especially in ocean. In land, of course, we have not much issue. But here, this project, like extracting energy from wave, will not come unless the structures are economical, cheaper. So this is the focus I'm now telling you. Another one is the tidal energy. For example, in Gujarat, for example, sometimes the water will be like that, sometimes water will be dry. It is like a dam. So dam, you will get a dam like this, so you can build barrages. Again, the civil structure, barrages. So water level, see here, it may be higher level and lower level, allow the water to pass, generate power. Again, the problem is how to make this cost effective. Gujarat have huge tidal potential, Gujarat itself. But the problem is the tidal barrage is expensive. That is the reason in India, both in Gujarat and in West Bengal, Sundarban Island area, they have tidal power, enough tidal power. Civil structures are expensive, so they are not going for the project. So civil engineer, we have to innovate a new type of structure which is cheaper. Okay, that is the problem. That is the challenge. Ocean thermal energy. This is potential wise the highest energy on the earth. It is an indirect form of solar energy. What is this energy? For example, when this is a sea water surface. At the surface, the temperature in India, for example, if you take Indian Sea Ocean, the temperature here is at 24-25 degrees centigrade throughout the year. Whether it is summer or winter, it doesn't vary much. In summer, it may be 1 degree high. In winter, it may be 1 degree less. Okay, 25-26 degrees here, whereas you go down by 700-800 meters, the temperature here is 4 degrees centigrade. Mechanical engineer, they know if you have two fluids, different temperature, they will extract energy. So that is what the principle. So huge potential. Another one is like wind energy, ocean water moves with high velocity at many places. Like off Gujarat area, water in the ocean moves much faster than the water moving on Ganga. Water in Gujarat, some of the area, it moves with the speed of 3-4 meters per second. It's a huge velocity. We can extract power from that, similar to wind energy. But again, you have to have a structure to hold the turbine, and it has to penetrate down into the sea. Construction or costly. Or offshore wind energy, similar to land wind energy, offshore wind energy. In offshore, the winds are smooth. So without much loss, you can extract energy in the offshore. That is the reason many European countries, they go for offshore wind energy. A lot of environmental issues are there. On the land, if you have a huge windmill formed like this, it will generate noise in land. So people don't like. So you have to go for offshore like this. Corrosion and control. You put anything in the sea, you will see marine growth. So if marine growth happens, for example, if you have a pile, 1 meter diameter, leave it in the sea for 1 year, the pile diameter will become 20% extra because of the marine growth. The higher the diameter, higher will be the load from the wave. So we have to know how to, we have to design it for that, or we have to make sure to prevent marine growth. Ships, for example, have corrosion problem. Lot of them have corrosion problem. People are developing new type of paint corrosion protection system. Sediment transport, I will spend a minute on this. As I told you, in the ocean, particularly near the coastal area, the sediments keep on moving. So if you build any structure on the coast, then it will react. For example, if you see this one, the people build moles here, like a groin for navigation, for the boat shipping, fishing boat. They build it, the people build it. Response, sediments are growing, eroding. That is the response. Reaction from the nature. As an engineer, we have to know this first of all. And if it is happening, how to solve this, we have to know. This is people learn in coastal engineering. And sometimes to reduce these type of problem, people build their infrastructure a little bit in the offshore. So they allow the movement of sediments without much interruption here. But then you have a bridge to the infrastructure here. So this type of solution people make. It will be expensive, but less environmental problem. Innovative structures. This is one area I focus my research on innovating new type of marine structure, which is cost competitive, easy to build, like that, no? So this is one area. For example, this is one innovative structure. It is a structure called floating breakwater. It floats, and you have to move them open ocean. When wave comes here, it will filter the energy. So this acts as a harbor. Very, very cost competitive solution. Otherwise, if you dump rock here, you have to dump huge quantity of rock. Very expensive. So this is a new innovative structure. Like Dubai, for example, what you see here is a Dubai. These are all marine structures, innovative structures. Pollution. The problem, this area is very wide area. You can do your master's, PhD, post-PhD, all in this area. Finally, work on how to reduce the marine pollution. So this is a scope, biggest scope in coastal engineering. I will tell about the Arabian Gulf. This is Arabian Peninsula. Kuwait is here. All the country in this region, they take seawater from here, desalinate, they use it for power plant. Finally, the wastewater goes back here. So water is keep on polluting. Compared to Indian Ocean, the biggest problem here in Arabian Peninsula is marine pollution is the biggest problem. Unavoidable. So we are trying to innovate new ways to reduce pollution. So that is like that. And people pollute the marine area because of many activities. People dredge the port and harbor. You see the pollution. People pollute the coastal area like this. People pollute the coastal area with the plastic. All these type of pollution results in mass killing of fish and spoils marine life. This is what the next one of the biggest problem, like corona problem, we are going to face in the future because of the global pollution. This will become a biggest problem. Now, to conclude, before conclusion, I will spend 1 minute to the students' benefit. If you wanted to do coastal engineering or ocean engineering in India, for example, the best institute is IIT Madras, IIT Kharagpur, IIT Bombay. These three IIT, they offer MTech, MS program in ocean and coastal engineering. Also, NIT, Surathkal, NIT Calicut, they also offer master's degree program. This is within India. If you look for master's program abroad, few institutes I will tell you. In US, within Florida itself, there are 4 institutes which offer master's degree program. Florida Institute of Technology, Florida Atlantic University, Florida State University, they are all good institutes. Netherlands, Delft University, they offer ocean engineering. England, University of Plymouth, they offer. Like that, there are very good institutes around the world where you will learn. See, in this lecture, I told you only the problem. These are all the different problems in coastal and ocean engineering. Challenges are there. You can do your master's or PhD and work in this area for doing innovation. So to conclude, ocean engineering is a challenging civil engineering area. Future have very high scope because in future people have to spend more money for extracting resources from the ocean. So that way, you have a very good future in this area. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your wonderful presentation. I would like to ask a few questions. Sir, what about this geotube breakthrough curve breakwater? Can you throw some light on this?
Yes. Yeah, geotube based structure is an innovative structure. In fact, some of the projects we have used it. For example, in India, Garware company, they are making geotextiles, very good geotextiles, you may be knowing. Even for some of the project in Kuwait, we use the geo bags filled with sand for coastal protection. It works. It is one of the good replacement. But there are some problem like if it is exposed to sun because of ultraviolet radiation, its strength reduces very quickly. So you have to replace them after 5-6 years. That is a problem. Otherwise, say people have to improve the strength characteristics of geotextiles. It is a very good replacement for rocks. If you don't get rock, for example, in Kuwait, we don't get good quality rock for coastal erosion protection. So we go for geotextile based solution. I'm not hearing. The mic is off. Yes.
Now this technology they are planning to implement in Karnataka, especially for that Mangalore region. The seawater is going to waste unnecessary for recycling of water purpose, scarcity of water. So Professor Shungu from Australia, he has expertise in this geotube. He's working on this. And one more thing I want to ask you, sir, why more research regarding tsunami is happen in India compared to Kuwait? What is the reason?
Yeah, see, India have the risk of a big tsunami because if a tsunami happens again, it will create tsunami waves of 1 meter height. It is very normal for India. Whereas for Kuwait, if tsunami happens, it will happen because of the earthquake in Pakistan. Because within the Arabian Gulf, we don't have a severe earthquake zone. So if it happens, we will get only 1 meter tsunami wave. So it is very, very small tsunami wave. So we are a little bit I don't say risk-free zone, risk reduction zone, Gulf country from tsunami point of view. Whereas India, high risk zone, particularly east coast of India. So that is why more research is required on tsunami based issues in India.
And coming to this breakthrough, the design structure for Indian and you are talking about this Kuwait, what could be the dimension? How you will be taking that design factors?
For example, a typical offshore drilling platform in India, India, I'm comparing both Arabian Sea, ONGC's design and our design here. In ONGC design, the main pile of the offshore platform is a 2.5 meter diameter steel, and the thickness is like something like 35 to 40 millimeter steel thickness. Whereas same type of structure within Arabian Gulf here, Dubai, it is only 1.5 meter diameter, almost half the size. The load is so low here from wave, and the thickness is almost half of the thickness we use in India. The main difference in India, the wave load on the structure will be, for example, I'm just telling a number, will be like 100 ton. Same thing within Arabian Gulf, it is only about 40 ton. Design load. So because waves are smaller here compared to Indian Ocean.
And
Why?
final question.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is why the exploitation of crude oil in Indian Ocean is very, very expensive
Yes, sir.
compared to Arabian Gulf here. See here, to extract, for example, 1 barrel of oil, people spend about $7 to $8. Whereas in India, they spend more than $20
Yes,
per
sir.
barrel.
Yeah, I would like to ask last question. Currently, you are talking about the global warming. You can see that in if you go in seashore now, the plastics waste are more. Yeah. Now this is affecting for the even the fishes, everything it is dying, and now it is a burning issue.
Yes.
As a researcher, how would you like to address this problem, sir? What are the preventive measures you have taken?
Yeah, the marine pollution, either it is in solid form or liquid form or gaseous form. As a researcher, my first thing is we have to avoid polluting the earth. We have to try to reduce as much as possible polluting the earth first of all. So
Yes,
then
sir.
only whatever pollution happened, rectifying is the next aspect. We have to stop polluting, either dumping solid into the sea or into the atmosphere or dumping wastewater into the sea. We have to stop first. Then we have to work. Okay, the pollution level at different oceans are different scale. We have to work on solving it slowly. So unless we stop polluting, nothing will happen. No technology will help.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you. Now it's our pleasure to host a webinar at Amity University, Haryana. First, I would like to thank our honorable founder for giving the permission to organize this seminar. And also, I thank our below director for providing us with all logistic support towards organize this event. And also, I sincerely thank Dr. Subramani Nilamani for accepting our invitation to be a guest speaker for this webinar.
Hello. Hello, Dr. Naveen.
I think bandwidth issue from his internet issue.
Okay, fine. So I can log off.
Dr. Naveen,
Your
just hold on.
colleague's name on. Okay, if I have done it, I can log off now.
Just hold on, sir. Please hold on. I am asking.
Mayur wanted to pursue masters in ocean. That is good. Do you have any question? I are requested to please share college names. Okay, I will do that. Ashia. Hello, Dr. Naveen. Yes. Hello.
No problem. No. 7 o'clock. It's over.
Okay, fine. I'm logging out.
Okay.
Done. Thank you.